I don't think he would do it. I would hope not. That's something we could
10
look
million a
into.
fight, he might.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he's
But
getting from the PFL. So he might have been exclusive for that in MMA specifically. It's possible. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Or they could have had a cut of his boxing paycheck too. That's also possible.
It's true.
yeah. I could see that if it was cross promotion, but who knows? It's only up to Dana White and Sean Shelby, the rest of the people at the UFC executives. But switching from kings to queens. Speaking of Miss Kayla Harrison, the newly crowned champion.
Rough weight cut.
Yeah, man, very rough weight cut. And then I guess is what we're gonna get into and talk about is, just looking at the rehydration on the right versus her weighing in on the left. I mean, it's two totally different people, dude. Like, like if the chick on the left walked up to me, I would not say Kayla Harrison, right?
Yeah.
If I caught her walking in the stadium before the weight cut, to be honest with you, I may have thought she slept outside that night.
Yeah. Looks like that Mandy.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is detrimental to your health, right? Like it's something that a lot of fighters go through. They dehydrate themselves to the absolute brink of almost passing out, and not having any energy at all in order to make these fights, and then rehydrate themselves sometimes 20 to 50 some pounds. You know what I mean? No telling who it is. You got Alex Pereira, somebody who rehydrates a shit ton back, after these weight cuts. Now, granted, he doesn't look as bad as this, but this looks pretty bad. And I honestly come to the question of how long can she do this at this weight, and where does she go from here? You know what I mean?
Honestly, for looking at these two pictures side by side, I can't even imagine what she felt like doing this process. I saw a video a number of years ago which Cyborg documented her weight cut and how she just said is the worst part. You almost got to be begging for those long days of training instead of this, because it's a mental battle, it's a physical battle. You have to have people there watching you, because if you go past a specific point, you can do permanent damage to your body. It's everything is in here. But let's say, for example, she gets able to get down to this weight again. She fights Amanda. Whatever happens that fight, you got to fit. She wins, she loses. But at that point, unless they got somebody in 145, I don't think that she's doing this anymore. This is too brutal.
Yeah. And if I'm not pickers, Nunes will be fighting at this same weight if they fought, right?
Undetermined at this point, but I mean, I would love to see them fight at 45. 45 has pretty much been a dead division in the UFC since Megan Anderson when she lost to Nunes. And I mean, she really lost to Nunes, and I'm pretty sure that was her last fight in the UFC. Might have even been her last fight in MMA. I believe she's doing commentary at Invicta now. So I think this is obviously the first time in a while. Maybe you could say Juliana Pena, but I think most people feel pretty confident that Amanda would win the rematch and that she just had an off night. But this is the first time that there's a legitimate challenge to Amanda Nunes. And I think it would be cool to have a potential double champ as well. So let them fight it out at 45. I think that would be awesome. And if Nunes wins and she wants to get her 35 belt back, let them run it back at 35.
Yeah. I think the goal is accomplished at this weight class for Kayla Harrison. And unfortunately, I don't think it is safe for her to keep, going through this, right? The residual effects and long-term effects for this is crazy. Like you could
look great in the cage.
It does, and that's why I more hit on the long-term effects of what you're doing to your body over time by dehydrating it, like this, dehydrating the muscles, all of the stuff. You putting your body through hell, basically at the point of brink of dying, because that's what happens to people. Like when they're in the desert, they don't have water, and they're just this is what's happening to them. Like they basically go through this and then they die. So
the
it's
frightening thing, you see fighters on the scale that can barely lift their arm. It's scary. It's and of course you said that reminded me Evan Tanner, who died in the desert. He was just out there hiking, and I think he just made a miscalculation. But the idea of perishing like this is disturbing.
100%, man. So I'm glad she was able to get her thing accomplished. Like I said, like Picker said, I really hope they fight at 45 too. I don't want to see this.
It seems to make
this is brutal. Yeah, this is brutal. It could rejuvenate the division. It could make some other, ladies that are fighting MMA want to come and try their hand at 45 and maybe build a culture around that again. But this right here is just sad. I hate
Well,
when I see stuff like this.
I don't think they would reinstate a 45 division. I think it would be almost an honorific. Like Amanda Nunes was so good, they dismantled the 45 division and they're opening it back up to give her one more challenge.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of other women coming and fighting Nunes at 45. That's basically like pointing a 45 at yourself.
Like pointing a 45 at yourself. Yeah, man. But shout out to Judo Queen, Kayla Harrison. I definitely want to see this fight with her and Amanda Nunes. That would be beautiful. I just don't know. I feel kind of like it's gonna be Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, and Nunes is more on the Pacquiao side of things, where she's just a little bit, out of the realm of things.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd was still kind of in the mix, and Pacquiao was kind of like not really in the mix as much as he was anymore. So I would end up like that, but boy, that should be a very interesting one to see. With that, man. But with that being said, any last thoughts on this?
Just wondering how active Amanda has been. If you've settled into motherhood, because obviously she's been, enjoying that aspect of her life, and how active she's been in the meantime. Because your timing could be off, your body goes through multiple changes. Your body's like, hey, we're at rest. We don't have to go to war every 6 weeks. 3 times a year, 2 times a year. So that's going to be the story. Obviously, Kayla's been doing she's been doing the ground, and also she is a mother herself, does a very good job. Very good story behind the scenes with her. If you haven't watched it, definitely go pursue it. But that's all going to be part of the build-up and part of the story.
And I do want to add in a comment that I saw from Kayla Harris this week. She said, because her and Amanda have trained together at American Top Team. They trained at the same gym. And she said that the last time they sparred, Amanda basically whooped her ass, but got tired after 3 rounds of whooping her ass. So
okay,
take that for what you will.
A beautiful.
And let's not forget, Amanda Nunes does have a very good track record against judo players.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true.
Beautiful way.
Olympic champion. So.
Yeah, we will see, man. Only time could tell. But